Okay, Tommy. Today we're going to work with base 10 blocks. Have you ever seen base 10 blocks before?
No.
No? Okay. Well, then let me explain what each of them represents. This is 1 because it's 1 unit, right? This is 10 because if you count, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, and this is 100.
That is 100. Are you sure you've never seen these before? You're sure? Okay. Well, you're so right. That flat is 100. If I had 1,000, it would be a cube that looks like this. Okay?
Yeah.
So if we needed to go real big, we could get a thousands cube. I just don't have any right here. So what I want you to do is, now that we've played with them for a few minutes, I want you to build a structure, okay? You can build anything you want, but I'm going to give you a couple minutes to do that.
Okay.
Ooh, that looks fancy. All right, you got 1 more minute. Be careful not to make it so tall that you can't, it falls over.
Hey, this is the Army Man base.
It's an Army Man base?
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Okay, I'll give you 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, awesome. Okay, so now that you've told me you built an Army Man base, what we're going to do is we're going to break apart your structure and figure out how much it's worth. Okay? So you're going to watch an example of mine first. This is what I built right here. I built this platform. I can move it. I built this platform. And in order to figure out how much it's worth, I have to count how many blocks I used, right? So I'm going to take mine apart and I'm going to sort it by ones, by tens, and by hundreds. Okay? So how many hundreds is my structure worth?
100.
Right. So it's just 100, right? So I'm going to write that on my paper. I'm going to write 1 for 100, right? And then I'm going to make sure it's in my hundreds place. Then, how many tens do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 tens is worth how much? Do we need to count by tens to figure it out?
70.
70. You're so right. Next, 70. Then, how many ones do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. So my structure was worth 176, right? If I wanted to write that out, I could write 100 plus 70 plus 6, right? Because that's exactly how much I had. So in a second, I'm going to ask you to do the same thing with your structure. And once you figure out how much it's worth, you're going to write it out. 100 plus 70 plus 6. So whatever number you get, you're going to end up writing it like this. Okay? Okay. So let's break apart your structure and see how much yours is worth. Okay? Good job sorting. Okay, awesome. So let's start with our biggest number first. How many hundreds do you have in your structure?
1.
1. So on your paper, you can write a 1. Good. Now we have to count how many tens. So we have 10.
$230.
You have 230. Well, how is that going to fit in our tens place?
I don't know.
What do we need to do?
2.
But if we put a 2 there, wouldn't that be 10? What if we added, because we had 230, what if we added our 100 to our 230? Would that work? Okay. So what if we did that? Then we would have 330, right? All right. How many ones do we have? How many ones do you have?
Wait. 15.
15. So, oops, forgot to do that while there. So we need to add another 15, right? So then we have, how many?
345.
345. So if we took 10 of your ones, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. If we took, I'm sorry, 10 of your tens, not ones, then couldn't we exchange them for one of these?
Yeah.
We could trade them out? See, that's why it moved over into that place, right? Just like this. If we have 10 of these, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is that the same as one of these?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can move them around. All right, so your number is 345. So I want you to write your number like I wrote my number. So you need to write your hundreds, plus, use your pencil so we can erase. Write your hundreds plus your tens plus your ones. So how many hundreds do you have?
0.
You don't have 0 hundred. Look at your final number here. You have 345. How many hundreds is that?
300.
300. So you have to write 300 then, right? Not 100. You have to write 300, right? Because we had 3. Remember? So 300, right?
And 45.
Okay, so how many tens do we have?
4.
Which is worth 40, right? Okay, so plus 40. Good. And then plus our ones.
5.
5. So if we added that up, it would be 345, right? Okay. Now, what I want you to do is with these 6 numbers, I want you to draw how many base 10 blocks it would take to make each number. So I'm going to do the first one with you so you understand how. So if I was drawing 233, then I would need 2 hundreds flats, right? I'd need 2 of these, and I would need 3 of these. So I would draw those like this. Right? And I could write 10 on them because we know they're each worth 10. And I would need 3 single ones. Right? So that I would have 233. I want you to do the same thing for this next number. You can use the blocks if you need to help you, but I want you to draw it out like that. Good. So you have 100. Good. Good. So you have 100, 3 10s, and 4 1s, or 134. Okay. So now I want you to try this number. I want you to try this number, but I want you to try to write it out like we did earlier. So here we would have 100 plus 30 plus 4, right? You see that? 100 plus 10, 20, 30 plus 1, 2, 3, 4. So I want you to try to write it out like this for 444. Instead of drawing it, I want you to try to write it out. So write your hundreds first. How many hundreds are there? 400 plus 40 plus 4. That's awesome. Okay, I have a tricky problem now. We have a thousands place. Do you remember what I said the thousands place would look like?
Yeah.
Can you draw it?
Yeah.
Can you try? Okay,
Yeah.
Draw me a thousands cube.
Wait, what does it look like again?
Well, I have my picture. There's our thousands cube. If it's not perfect, that's totally okay. That's good. Okay, but we need to write what on it? What do we need to write on it? 1,000. So remember how much it's worth, right? Good. All right. How many hundreds do we need?
2.
Okay. How many tens do we need?
9.
9. Ooh, that's a lot. Okay. And how many ones do we need?
2.
Good. All right. Now that you've done that, this is called expanded form, what we were doing over here. I want you to try to write this number in expanded form. Just like we did here. So start with your biggest place value, which is what this time?
On this one?
No, for this one. This one that you just drew out. What is your biggest place value?
1,000.
1,000, so we need to write 1,000 first. Good. Awesome. So we have 1,000 plus 200 plus 90 plus 2. That is awesome. Can you do these last two for me? Okay, for this one, I want you to write it in expanded form, okay? So that's what we did here, like this. For this one, I want you to draw the blocks. Okay? Whichever order you want. That is so awesome. Did you have any 10s in 102?
No.
No, so you had 100s flat and 2 1s. All right, last one. On this one, I want you to write it out in expanded form. You're right. We have 800 plus 20 plus 0 because we have 0 ones. So could we leave off that plus 0 and it be the same thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. All right. I think that you understand this lesson perfectly fine. So now I am going to give you I'm going to give you a number and I want you to model it. So that means you can use these instead of drawing, okay? And then I want you to write it out in expanded form. Can you do that? One number to fix it all. 143. 143. Model it first so you don't have to draw. You can use the blocks. Good. You can draw it if you need to. That's good. 100. All right, can you write it in expanded form?
Yeah.
All right, let's check. 143, that's 100 plus 40 plus 3. So you have a 100s flat, and you have 10, 20, 30, 40, 4 10s. How many 1s did you draw, though?
3.
Did you? Oh, you drew 4. Was that right?
No.
Oh, you said it right, but you noticed that you had drawn an extra. Take it off. And now it is perfect. You did so good today. Thank you so much.